Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to learn how to make some cute heart cheeky shorts, perfect for Valentine's Day. It's really helpful to watch my last tutorial. It's number 14 if you are not familiar with how to make a heart fillet square. So first I'm going to switch hooks. I'm using a 6mm hook now. In the video I used a 3.75mm hook to do the squares. This is just because I think that the heart squares show up better with a smaller needle size, but it's not a problem if you change hook sizes. But we're basically taking those squares and we are creating a border around them and making them into shorts. Anyways, we're going to take our different color yarn so the hearts show up better, doesn't matter though, and insert it into the corner of a heart square. Then we're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 double crochets right to that corner. We're going to do that on every corner. Then you're going to chain 1 and skip the next stitch and then do a double crochet. It's just like the heart fillet. If you watch the tutorial, we'll be doing the mesh stitch is 1 double crochet, chain 1 space, and then double crochet, and the chain 1 space counts as a skip. The heart, certain sides of the heart are obviously not going to be like very clearly identifiable spaces, but you use your best judgment when you're skipping over a section. I count almost every little crack as a space. So just do the double crochet, chain 1, double crochet pattern down the side, and then of course in the corners you're going to be doing 2 double crochet, 2 chain 2 spaces, and then 2 double crochet, and that'll keep your square even. And to measure yourself for these shorts, it's kind of similar if you watch my pants tutorial. You're going to measure around your waist where you would button your pants. Then you're going to take that number and divide it in half. Then you're going to take that number and also divide it in half, and that's going to be the equivalent to the size square that you want. It doesn't have to be super accurate. In fact, I fluctuate between like 32, 34 inches around, so that leaves me with about an 8.5 inch square once we do all the math. And these squares I measured are maybe just a little bit less than 8 inches or are 8 inches. But they still fit great, and it's very easy to just add extra rows on the border if for some reason it doesn't fit. For the second square, you're going to kind of join as you go. You don't have to do this. There's like 1,000 ways to seam these, but just seam them together in your preference. If this, the way I describe it, is confusing or just don't like the way it looks. These shorts are made in 2 separate pieces and then seamed together, and then the waistband is crocheted in the round. So once you have one square, do the other square. For the second square, you're going to you kind of join as you go. You don't have to do this. There's like 1,000 ways to seam these, but just seam them together in your preference. If this, the way I describe it, is confusing or just don't like the way it looks. Basically, at one of the chain 2 spaces, I chain 2 like I'm going to in the corner, and then I just slip stitch into the other chain 2 space on the other square, and then I just continue. I do my 2 double crochets right back into that chain 2 space on the current square I'm using. So then we're going to do our chain 1, and every time we chain 1 to do our to make the chain 1 space, I'm going to attach it in the parallel or adjacent chain 1 space on the other square with a slip stitch. And then I'm going to continue down and do a double crochet in and the current square, and then chain 1, slip stitch into the old square, and then keep going up with that pattern. So you're double crocheting into the current square, you chain 1, then you slip stitch the chain 1 space you made to the other chain 1 space, and then you double crochet in the current square, and you repeat that pattern until you get to the next corner. And you do the 2 double crochets into the current square, then chain 2 just like we did at the bottom, and then slip stitch it right into the old square's chain 2 space, and then 2 double crochets into the same corner space. And thank God we only have to do that on one side, because that was a tongue twister for me to explain. So once we have the sides seamed, you just go ahead and complete the square. You know, we're doing 2 double crochets and then chain 1 and then 1 double crochet, and you just do that across until you have your square completed. So now you have this cute rectangle, and we want to add another border to it to make these shorts wider, at least for me. If you're a smaller person, then you're probably done at this point. But basically I'm just going to add another border of the DC mesh stitch around to increase the width of these shorts so that they will actually go up my hips. So right into the chain 2 space that we made on the corner, going to chain 2. I'm gonna do 2 double crochets right into that little space, then chain 2 again, and then 2 more double crochets into that space. Then I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm actually skipping over the 2 double crochet spaces with 1 chain. This doesn't really affect the pattern for me. I don't know why I do this, but this is what I've done for every corner actually. So chain 1, and then 1 single double crochet into that chain space, the chain 1 space, and then just, you know, this same exact pattern all the way around. I'm sorry if I'm going too fast. I feel like this is so repetitive, but if it's not, please let me know. My tutorials are designed for people who already know how to crochet. So when I'm done with this, I count and I have 15 rows, including the hearts. All of them can add up to 15 rows, and that's a good enough length for me. These shorts are going to be kind of cheeky. You can make them longer if you like. I'm not doing that in this video. Now we're going to make the second half of the shorts. So what you're going to really do is just pretty simple. You're just going to make a chain that is similar in length to the other patch. So once your chain is similar to the length of the piece you were just working on, you're just going to skip the first 3 chains on that chain and double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook, and then we're just going to do the mesh pattern. So after you do that, double crochet in the 4th chain 1, and then you're obviously skipping that chain, and then double crocheting in the next one, and then chain 1 and double crochet in the next one, and we're just doing this all the way down. And we're actually, this is all we're doing for this patch of shorts. So once you get to the end of the row, chain 3, turn, and repeat this pattern. Just double crochet in the first stitch, and then chain 1, and so on and so forth. Anyways, so do this until your patches are even. Your both sides are even, because if you did use a smaller size hook for the heart, this is not going to be 100% even, because we're only using one size hook for the mesh part of the shorts. So the mesh part with the 6mm hook is just going to be slightly longer. So I actually do one less row. I don't do 15 rows, I do 14 rows of double crochet, so that it matches a little more even than if I did 15, it would be too long. So once you have your 2 sides, go ahead and seam them together. I use a combination of chains and slip stitches. I use chains at the very top, with the hearts facing right side up, because I'm going to be, that's where I'm going to be adding the waistband, and it's a lot easier to stick my hook in if it's been chained and not slip stitched. It's too tight. So good. Just seam the sides and then seam the other side, and then we're going to add the crotch. So the shorts are outside in right now, so we're gonna are inside out. So we're going to turn them outside in, and then we're gonna find the middle of the shorts. You can just look where you seamed the heart. It's just a crack right there, and just kind of line up your crotch right in between that. And you can make this as thick or thin as you like. It's personal preference. I believe I chained around 6 double crochets in a row. I'm not actually watching this video. This voiceover is from memory. And once you have your desired width, just go ahead and at the end of every DC row, you're going to chain 3 and just go back and forth like you would if you were making a scarf until you have a crotch that's long enough for you. for this crotch, I made 9 rows of double crochet. The more if you have a thicker bottom, you probably want to add more rows for your crotch so that you're not being squished or feeling pinchy at the crotch. And of course, if you have smaller hind parts, maybe not too, you don't want a crotch that's too long, because that's how the shorts become baggy and just not really comfortable. So once we have our crotch length figured out, you can go ahead and actually turn these shorts inside out now, because we're going to seam it to the other side, and you don't want the seam sticking out unless you do. It's up to you. And I seam the shorts with slip stitches. So now we're almost done. We're gonna turn the shorts outside in now, so so they're at the wearable side. And we're gonna take our hook and we're gonna find the seam on the side that we made, with your the side of your hips. And we're gonna insert our hook with the yarn and slip stitch it on. Then we're gonna chain 3, and all we're doing now is just double crocheting in the round. So we're just double crocheting in every chain 1 space and in every double crochet space. So yeah, just double crochet in a double crochet and double crochet in a chain 1 space, and this creates a nice little waistband. When you get all the way back around to your beginning chain 3, just go ahead and slip stitch the double crochet and the chain 3 space together, and then from there you're just going to chain 3 again and double crochet in every double crochet around, and you're done. Just slip stitch at the end and you're done. I like to make a drawstring for all of my shorts and pants. This to me allows for a more adjustable and comfortable fit, especially since if you're not using like spandex or like nylon yarn, I'm not really sure which one it is, I think it's spandex yarn, then it's like the elasticity is not promised. That concludes this tutorial. This is just a quick little pair of shorts for Valentine's Day. It's kind of cute. If you like this, please like this video and share it with all your crochet pals. I'd love to see your guys' finished work. I'm really big on that. I love to save it all on my Tumblr, same name, Eurythmik. Feel free to tag me at Eurythmik, that's my Instagram, or on the black hand side, that's my Instagram for all my art mediums, but primarily to promote my YouTube channel. I left all my contact information in the description of this video. I hope this tutorial was clear and helpful. I'm really excited to be doing these again. I can't believe how long it's been. I actually just graduated from college, but we don't have to talk about that right now. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.